Yeah, that would be big.
Open the study session for the policy that's walking.
First thing on the study session, Neil received a letter of resignation from, Clint. I guess he is moving, so he no longer serve. He is not a resident or not a city, but we will see that like, he is out in this house. We need to put out for anyone that is interested to give us a kind of resume or whatever of what they have done and why they want to be on. It will be a 2-year step. So when Neil and Ray come back up for election, they would have to run at that time.
So Jim, we need to post that in the paper, online and,
Yeah,
I guess on the board.
and outside on our,
We
On
also,
all the websites, all those 2 pages.
we need a cutoff date, when you,
I like that by the way, you know. So,
so have all the applications in by,
probably the calendar. Probably by the 26th, so that way we can kind of do everything on the 30th, last meeting of the month, as to,
well, we're going to probably interview them.
well, if you want to do that, then let's go by the 22nd.
You think we'll get responses by then?
Should.
Subcommittee, Mr. Chairman. Or the whole board.
The whole board, I think, needs to.
Okay.
The whole board can have to vote.
Okay.
Done. So then next, I did throw in the contract, for RJH. I did sign it. I did send you guys. The only thing is it was by February 3rd instead of the 1st, I think, because it's second is on, Sunday. That's why they put it on the 3rd. I did talk to Perry and I did talk to, RJH, and they're looking at trying to get it completed by the end of October. So that way we don't lose FEMA funds and stuff that way. So they're probably end up having it done sooner than later. To turn it into the state, PDF.
So we have a 90% plan going from already?
Yeah.
Question for you?
Okay, I also got with, over last week, Streamline, if you know, our website now has to be ADA compliant. Anything that is a PDF, you have to go in and convert it, and right now, I think we were at close to 7,900 pages, and each page is usually about $4 a page to convert it. We sat down with Streamline, they wanted it, started out at like $800 a month to do this. We worked it down to where we got it for $148, but that didn't include the, legal part of it, that if somebody came back and wanted to sue us because it was ADA compliant, for $16 more a month, they threw it in there too, so that way, if we have any litigation on it, they would handle all the litigation, so it's gonna cost us $168 a month for 3 years, and that will convert all of our old PDFs and everything. I could have archived them, but in the same sense, we want to be transparent. So anything that anybody wants to go back and look at, anything that's said, they can do it. So
Okay, that's awesome.
So Jim, there was something that was, had a deadline of July 1st, wasn't that the?
yeah, that was the deadline on it, and everybody's been so slow on it because with this AI and everything, everybody was waiting to find if the AI was going to be able to do this without having to go through it, and
So this is basically covering that deadline of July first.
yes.
Question for it?
We have to.
Yeah. It's another one of those government mandates that don't supply any money.
And I would just comment that he did a good deal with getting it out the way he did, and this was for the kind of work, I'm familiar with this kind of work. It's usually hard to get that kind of a price. Very well. Yeah, well, thanks. He knows it was sidewalks. Yeah. He did it good.
Did you, wanna introduce them before we go into CCAC?
Sure, anytime, Clark. So Sarah Blackford and Dave Shipley would like to make a statement about, the issues going on with closing Comanche Power Plant. Go ahead.
So I'm Sarah Blackhurst. So for those of you who don't know, I am the president of Action Colorado. It used to be Action 22, which you are all probably very familiar with. We changed it up into Action Colorado in 2024, and we changed our general structure. And so what we do is we're a lot more focused on the issues that are the most pressing for our communities. And so we have a very strong committee structure that's sort of a new thing that a lot of associations like ours are going to, so that we can react and be proactive very, very quickly. And so what we did is, of course, back in 21, when they first said they were going to close Comanche, we've been working on it basically since then. And we can go into that a lot more later. But at the beginning, well, several months ago, Mr. Shipley retired from Highline, Ride Telephone, US Connect, all of those. And he called me up because he'd been on my broadband board for the entire time. And as you know, he's got a really long and successful history in advocating, especially in the broadband space. And so he's dealt with the Public Utilities Commission and all of those things. And so my executive board asked, he said, what can I do to help? And I said, actually, you shouldn't have asked me twice, because I have something really important for you that we need you to do. So a few months ago, our board appointed him as our chief medical officer. The chairman of our energy committee. And we have a major sort of groundbreaking project that he's leading, and that's what we want to talk to you about, that and the PUC and the closing and all of those things. He's going to talk about that really quick, but I'm just going to turn it over to him because he's the chair and he's in charge of all of this now.
Great, thank you, folks. Again, my name is David Shipley. I was with Highline for 25 years and was in the broadband space for over 40 years. Did a lot of lobbying at the state and at the federal level in DC. So now I'm in the energy space with Sarah, drinking through a fire hose, trying to learn that space. This is just an information piece. What we've noticed in the valley and all across Pueblo counties, people don't know what's going on with Comanche, right? Comanche is scheduled to shut down in 2030. Think about that. What's going to replace it? Comanche produces most of the energy for the Front Range, including Denver down into Trinidad. San Isabel Electric buys power from Tri-State, which then gets its power from Comanche from itself. So it's one of these buy generation, and then different companies buy the power to produce and distribute to us, the customer. What the governor has proposed is that he wants to replace this coal plant with renewable, right? So that's wind, that's solar, and that's battery. And that's great. I mean, we're all for renewables. I think it's fantastic to get the air cleaner, to be a little bit more healthy, save Mother Earth. But at the end of the day, what happens to us, the customer? What happens to the businesses as Colorado as a whole, as an economic development of the state, bringing in AI data centers that require tons and tons of power to produce the AI space, right? To store the data. So initially, Comanche was scheduled to shut down in 2070. Now it's 2030, and just in this last session last year, the governor ran a draft bill that was actually killed by Action Colorado and a few other folks, that he wanted to squeeze everything down into 2040. right? It means all the carbon, all the emissions gone by 2040. So Comanche's a separate issue. That's on the chopping block. It's gone. Unless we, Action Colorado and our partners, which I'm not going to get into the partners, can go and turn legislation around, this coming legislation, and say, listen, we think there is a balanced, smart strategy for fossil fuels and renewable energy, including carbon capture and nuclear, right? People don't like that word, but in some cases, it's, they think it's a bad word. Well, we're here to educate you that it's what's going to save the space that we really need as far as energy producing in Colorado. Comanche goes away, it's $200 million in revenue, tax revenue that goes away from Buffalo County. That's going to affect us. We barely get the tax. So I'm a resident of Colorado City. Sarah is, right. We understand that we're kind of the last of the food chain to get the tax revenue. So what happens when 200 million goes away? What's going to replace it? So a few years ago, they agreed on what's called a just transition. You're going to hear that term. And the just transition is that the state is going to attempt to replace this revenue, lost revenue, with X. We don't even know what X is. We're hoping it's some type of a power plant, right? Or a small modular reactor, SMRs we call them, which is a nuclear reactor. And what comes with that, it has to be a job. So we have to have job training. And then people at Comanche, that's a pretty nice paying job, right? $100,000 a year, and now you're going to bring wind and solar folks in for 18, 20 bucks an hour. Those folks don't even live here. They're coming in from Texas and Kansas and all these wind-blowing states that they're going to come in, make our money, pay no taxes, and get out. So again, we're here to inform the community of what's going on with this energy plan. And we're working hard with Action Colorado because it's going to become a topic. In 2029, it's going to be too late to do anything. So we're doing stuff now. We're coming out what it's called a compact. It's a rubric that we're creating with some of the top energy producers in the state and across the nation that we're going to present to the legislators here in Colorado and to the communities so that they can understand what we're trying to accomplish, not say this is bad, and this is bad. But all these energy resources together is a win for us. So this is information piece. We'd ask the board that at any time we'd like to use this platform to communicate during your meetings when we have information that's relevant or updates. We'd like to get in front of the folks in the community because I think that, it comes to the newspapers and it's all, it's kind of author to maybe author in one side or the other. We're going to tell you what's happening. We're going to be very transparent on what's happening in Colorado. So anyway, that's why we're here, was to make you aware. It's coming fast, and it's moving fast. We're trying to get these legislators on board. We're up at the Capitol a couple times. We're going to be up at the Capitol in a few more weeks. We're going to actually release this draft compact on September 25th. It's going to be the final compact. It's going to go to the state legislators. It's going to be public information. So I'll stop there. I've asked the chairman if he allows a couple minutes. I don't want to take too much time, but I just want to make you aware of what's happening. So here how the energy prices are going to get into it. We don't need the space. Right. There's no going back. Once they shut down Comanche, and not flip the switch coming back on. It's down. Questions? Any
questions?
Dave, what can we do? And would you like to be on the agenda for the town hall?
Yeah, I think we'd love to use these type of platforms to give updates for what's going on with this topic. I think the town hall, if that's a place that we can actually present an update, that would be fantastic. We don't want to take away from what the town hall is, supposed to address. But we would love to be on the agenda on the town hall. There's space for us to just get a quick update. That's September 23rd, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in 2 weeks, there's going to be a lot happening in 2 weeks.
So as far as what you can do to help, and that's a great question. We love to hear that so much. There's going to be some opportunity coming up for some response, for an opportunity for you to send a letter, a note to the PUC or to some of these decision makers. There's more than 30 commissions, regulatory commissions in Colorado. Most of them you've never heard of. I just learn about one just about every day, another one that comes up. And this is on top of, this is separate from the 500 new laws that are imposed in Colorado every day or every year. So this is completely separate. There's more than 220,000 regulations in place in Colorado right now. They're separate from any statute. So it's wildly nuanced and complicated. But when we come to you, we want to give you information and we want to hear back on to how this is going to affect you, what your ideas are. And also really one of the problems that we see is the PUC, because they're incredibly difficult to navigate. You almost have to have a lawyer as a navigator to interact with them. You have to really know what you're doing and you have to bird dog it. It has people's full-time jobs to bird dog the PUC. We don't have that. Everybody that we know actually works for a living. So we will give you basically shortcuts to make your voice heard on that level, and then also with legislators as we move forward with this. So this is a really, really big deal. It's happening to Coloradans. There's nothing here that doesn't affect every single Coloradan. So that's why that's at the very top of our list, our priority list right now. Action Colorado also works on a few other things, but this is the one that we really want you to understand what's going to happen on every level, from real estate to what you guys have in your budget. It's really, we're on a precipice in Colorado as to whether or not we're going to be able to recover economically. It's some serious intervention. Colorado, so it happens soon. We just want to make sure that you're understanding.
And where can people get more information?
Well, we'll bring out some more information at the town hall. Right now, we're doing a series of, because this is moving so quickly. In the last little bit, we're prepared with a compact, but everything that's happened with the PUC in the last about 10 days to 2 weeks, literally, we're just trying to catch up with. So on the just transition proceeding, where they're going to decide what to do with Comanche, they had 17 hours of deliberation. The PUC did. They barely mentioned the PISAC report, which was part of the statute, part of the agreement that was made when they said they would close it. They barely mentioned that, but they came out very clearly that anything that we had put forward, they wouldn't consider. And so we will hear it's on their docket for this week to make their final decision. So before they made their final decision, we made a lot of noise. So you'll see, I didn't. The Denver Post, Substack, the people I don't even know. But there's a lot that's going out right now. So as soon as we know, we'll let you know, but we should have a solid answer about what's next on the 23rd when we come back. And then we'll have a whole suite of information for you.
Yeah, we'll get a one sheet together.
Okay.
Yeah, just a one sheet. It's a very cumbersome issue. So for us to talk about all the moving pieces, you guys, we should be sleep.
It would, and you could be here for 3 hours.
It's crazy right now. And just on a side note, PUC just approved a 300 megawatt gas plant in Moffett County that they're going to shut down.
Yeah, so do you have some kind of a form letter? Yeah.
We can
do that as soon as so what's going to happen is we anticipate that there's going to have to be an appeal process after the PUC makes their final decision on the just transition solicitation. And as soon as that happens, we'll start putting out, this is what the messaging, and that can be part of the appeal.
Well, even with the list of all of our representatives and stuff, we just flood them with letters from every board and whatever.
Well, Congressman Hurd has been very active in this,
Yeah.
even at, he did on the federal level, the Natural Resources Group in
Yeah.
DC, very vocal about what he's doing, when he's trying to communicate to the DC folks on what's happening to the public.
And-
This is huge.
And by the way, he's the only one of our congressional delegation that's saying the word about Pueblo right now. So we're really appreciative of him for that. But when we need to see that, when we need to start putting stuff together for an appeal to the PUC, and we'll do that through Pueblo County. So Pueblo County is a part of this, they're an intervener on this. And we've been working with their attorney really very closely, it's the city, Petco, and, the counties.
Yeah, Sarah, thank you both for coming, first of all. You mentioned the gas plant in Moffett County. Is that a possibility? I mean,
It's already been approved.
You mean here?
I mean, here.
Oh, no, well,
Oh, absolutely,
absolutely,
it
yeah.
is, if they say that, and we can even leave it open. We can leave it open as a coal plant, there's technology that's been implemented in other parts of the country as of right now that would reduce the emissions from the coal by 95%, and with carbon capture, it would be negative. It would be in the negative numbers if we did it that way. So we're saying everything's on the table, but the most important thing is to keep Comanche. That's the most important thing for Pueblo County, and it's been the exact opposite intent all along. And there's, like Dave said, it's incredibly nuanced. There's we're going to have some bills go up this session to protect the gas, the natural gas and nuclear, even though they designated as clean, they haven't. There's Title 40 that lays all that out, and they haven't amended that. So those are some of the things that are going to happen during the legislative session. We're a little dismayed, not only by the fact that the PUC is doing what they're doing, but that a lot of our representatives are more upset about the idea that a letter would be written to Donald Trump to ask for help because of his executive order, because all other options have been eliminated as of right now, unless the PUC does a 180 in the next 72 hours. It says, no, we're going to do all of this. And then if that's done, we're great. Like if we're great, then we've gotten the job done. We think that's a pretty outlandish to do that. But they've been more worried about a letter to Trump than they have been about keeping Comanche open.
Again, we're not against renewables. We just think that there's a balanced strategy for renewables.
Well, and Pueblo County has done a really, really amazing job. It's saturated. There's literally no more solar that can go in to Pueblo County without it being
Fiasco's
negative.
even saying no more solar without BSS.
Right.
Sorry, I represent free solar.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
yeah, there's no more solar because
No.
the transmission is so.
Well, the
perfect.
ERFP that just went out actually
Yeah.
ruled out any more solar without BSS.
Yep, that's right. That's right. So it's alarming, the situation that we're in right now. So we just need you guys to be aware of it. And then when we ask you to lend your voice, we'll put that opportunity, and hopefully you guys will say this is what we actually want to see happen here.
And all the power companies are dealing with it, right? Black Hills, XL, San Isabel.
The co-ops, the municipalities, all of them.
Mr. Chairman. Ms. Flaggers, Bob Smith. If we go to this action Colorado, would that kind of give us an overview? You know, like I said, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah. No, I would love to say that, but I sort of a 1.5 person show, and I don't have my website updated yet. So we're working on that, but we'll bring you all the information that we can. We'll have a packet for you, kind of like a media packet that we'll have for you on the 23rd. Yeah. And we'll have a better idea as soon as the PUC makes the ruling on the just transition solicitation.
We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves and have to pull it back.
Yeah.
So that's what we're juggling. We know kind of what's happening, that it changes so quickly. At the PUC, at the government level, federal level, state level, there's a lot of moving parts here. We have to get this right. There's no going back.
The letter that you sent me was from Sarah. Where do people get that?
On your website.
Oh yeah, I can send that out, and I can send it over to you guys as well. And then Terry Kraus called me yesterday, and I think there's going to be a story about it in there. So it's getting shared out a lot. Honestly, most media will not give me op-ed space.
So even the link to the article.
Yeah, you can just share that out. Just feel free to share it
That's
out.
all public information.
Yeah, that's all. And then if you guys want to see like any of the motions or the affidavit that I sent up or whatever, I'll be sending that out in a little bit. Jim, do you still get my email blast?
No, I don't, because James started.
Oh.
We do it.
No, but I got ours.
Perfect.
Oh,
Perfect. Then you can share it with the board,
Yeah.
right?
All right. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you, folks. Thank you, Niall. Appreciate it. Any further what you guys are doing? Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for it. I think you do this much. Thank you. Thanks.
Oh, there's not much left.
Woo, that's funny.
So what time is it?
Oh, look at that. It'd be
Oh,
so.
it's raining. Open portal.
Did he leave? The meeting's not over.
They gave up on it.
Now that's building site.
We thought we were.
So we have the CCABC review. That, and I noticed that there's, new house. And paint job.
Yes.
To start with, I'll commend the people that are going to paint, that they actually filled out a permit process and went through that process. Thank you for doing that. Then we have two first letters. Three mailings, yes.
Yeah, there's two letters. There's actually three mailings, but, one of the letters is going to, they have two different addresses, so that's why we're gonna send it out. They have been registered and sent out. I haven't received anything back from them yet, though.
This one, house bill, I notice has a, alteration of the setback. The board should be aware of that. And for covenants, it's supposed to be 25 feet, this is going to be 21 feet. And Bob, you look with this, is that?
No, I didn't. No, I'm taking care of compliance. I've got plenty to do. Randy is taking care of.
No, this one is built by that.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is the one
Yeah.
on Jefferson. It has been inspected by Bob Smith on
I signed it.
it. So I think that, anyway, the board certainly needs to consider that as far as, are we going to allow that 4 foot difference?
Is that our setback or is that the county
So
setback?
that's our setback. County needs to county 120.
Are you sure in the covenants on that?
Yeah, well, in fact, we have a copy of it. Setback is 25 feet.
And when you look at the drawing,
Well, no, wait a minute, maybe it's all the way around, huh?
Yeah.
It does make, on the comments, it says Director Howard has given an admin adjustment of 15% for the front yard setback,
Right,
reducing from 25 to 21.75.
in fact, it's the county that has 25,
Yeah.
we have 20, is that right?
I mean, I've always known the county had 25, but
Yes,
that
yeah.
was really.
So
Usually we go out.
I don't know about that. I don't.
No, mine is only 120, and it's my garage, my house is set back, but my garage is not set back.
Yeah, this one, to me, it's a fair point, you know, I don't, it's a corner of the garage, and it's just a corner there.
And it's just an odd shaped lot anyway.
Yeah. So I don't have a problem with it, but the board should be aware of that.
Well, clarify for me, too, because I'm a little tangled up in my head here. It meets our covenants, but it does not make county zoning,
Yeah, zoning had to give an admin weight, an admin
so a
adjustment.
waiver,
Yeah, and you can have that from the director, so.
so it's a waiver, it's
Yeah,
waived.
It's waived.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, from 20, reduce it from 25 to 21, and it would make sense that they would grant it because of the odd shape of the lot itself.
Got it, thank you, sir.
And then the letters. Any questions on those?
Katrina signed it in June.
Any, Bob, any input from the architectural advisory committee?
Well, the letters are going out, second letters have gone out, to the first section. I have a, spreadsheet right here that is, what happens, 20, 35, 60, and 90 days. And so that's the way we're keeping track of when the letters go out on after the inspection. And so we've done that for that first set already, and done the second letters we've already sent.
So you,
Kevin and Dick.
when you get to the second letter point, you automatically send it.
Yes,
And Mr. Smith, are those going out return receipts?
they are.
Thank you.
And there's, specifics inside the, HB 24-1267 that we have to follow, and that's what we're doing. It's pretty specific. And Kevin and Jeannie are doing that paperwork for us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Let's move forward. Other questions on that? All right, everybody be good. Business the board to be conducted in the most effective and expeditious manner, and necessary that all persons present maintain and being exposed to the board staff and each other. Conduct that appears threatening or aggressive will not be tolerated. Chatting, speaking out of order, or use of intense gestures are not acceptable. Such behavior shall constitute the forfeiture of the right to remain in attendance and may, if one board brought to the board's attention by council or the board member, including the chairperson, resulting in being asked to leave the meeting by the chairperson or, upon refusal, be escorted out of the meeting by the proper bill. Any,
Yes, you do, Bob Smith. Permit and dumping sites.
That's me. Here, a little over a week ago, I met the water commissioners down here on a dam on Grinnell's Creek. We and a couple of deputies looked at it, et cetera, and did what we needed to do. Well, I was by that same road again day before yesterday, and here we got a new shed put up. And what I would ask is the board consider, and I've seen it in other communities, put up two different signs. One will be, this is a covenant controlled community. And there's probably specific wording that needs to be there that I don't know. And then also on that same post, no dumping, fine or whatever, and the state has a fine. We just need to find out what that is. But I'd like to have them consider, have you consider doing that. I'm looking at 5 signs, east and west 165, coming off of Crow Cutoff, Berneros Road, and Apache. And unless somebody else would ask, I think we need more. But like this new shed that was just put up, it come off of Berneros, and I'm just speculating that that person from, I think it was Texas, would have seen that sign and said, son of a gun, I can't just go put my shack here. I don't know, but I really think if we would post, this is a covenant controlled community, that it might help. So we wouldn't have to do some complaints and then do all this stuff that we're gonna have to do with these 2 gentlemen. There's another one over here to the southwest. So, but anyway, that's all I asked to consider it, and we do that. Well, I have to go through the county. There's distances and all that kind of stuff.
It's gonna have to be the state, unfortunately, and on Highway 165.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's going to be a nightmare because they passed a statute, I think it was in 2021. I was still with the county, and it makes it almost impossible to put up new.
Really?
If there's any that are active, that means that they have been there for a while. We can make use of them. For example, the one that's right at the entrance. There's one that's right by the entrance of Colorado City when you're going westbound. That's been things falling apart, to be quite frank. That one we can make use of, but acquiring the permit, because it was all about keeping the mountain range visible or something. And the reason this came about because the old owners of the Beulah Inn approached the county to try to put up a sign, try to bring some business over. And the state fought them. You would think that they were trying to burn radioactive waste. But with the amount of roadblocks they put. So unfortunately, if it's a new one and it's within state,
On the state highway?
yeah, on the state highway or close enough, it's gonna be very hard. If it's on a county right of way, or if it's an existing advertisement board that we can make use of, then it significantly makes it easier. Oh, yeah, because otherwise but we gave up.
A lot of that was due to the Lady Bird Johnson era when they took all the signs off of your interstate and stuff. They got up to Pueblo and they ran out of money.
Really?
Yeah.
So do we have any signs, that's what I'm trying to think, because any signs coming in the Colorado City that, identify Colorado City, you don't?
Yes,
No,
there's one coming from the west on the east, it said Colorado City.
I remember that one, Mr. Chairman, that's why I brought it up, because even if it's in disrepair, it's grandfathered in, you just have to, oh, no, we just
We
made it.
could put some signs on
What did you have?
There's the sign, just beside the split rail fence, for Holly Dock. You can put a sign. It's inside of Holly Dock. It says, welcome to Holly Dock. Now, it's kind of tacky maybe to say underneath it, welcome to Colorado City, it's a covenant control community, I don't know. And Greg's gonna school me on that one here, but,
Well,
that's a thought.
that is a thought. I will Saturday take a picture of what Custer County has on Highway 96. It's no more bigger than a speed limit sign, but Custer County, it says that it is a building permits required. It's, and it's on one end of 96 and it's, up above. But it's been there for, it's not says covenants, but building permits required. I don't know exactly how that would work with the state, but it is on a state highway.
Just point of clarification I would like to make, Mr. Chairman, when I said it's big advertisement boards and ones that are.
No.
Small ones like that, I hadn't even thought of, yeah, those as long as.
No, this is no bigger
That's
than a speed limit.
No,
sign.
that's good, those are okay.
So what you're saying is the big ones that say, the big artistic signs that say, welcome to
Yeah.
something, or.
Yeah.
Right.
The building,
No.
that's what I was looking at.
I'll take a picture and get it to everybody. Y'all can look at it. And it's been there for ever.
Okay, if you know.
But it's only no bigger than a stop sign.
Okay.
I wonder, adding on to like the speed limit sign, where you have the speed limit and this is covered the community, that would just.
Yeah, as long as they're that size, and what's called METCD compliant, manual of uniform traffic control devices. As long as it has a compliance with that, the state, I don't think they can even question. But it can.
So we need to have a committee to take some action on that, to do something like that. I'm willing to do that, I'm willing to help with that, would you help me on that, Bob? Sure. And we can, I'll just update.
I'll look at the art and tell you if it's METCD compliant, if you don't have money.
How much does it take?
Yeah, yes, that's what the question for getting now.
Oh, okay. Bring it down.
Double what I'm getting.
Okay, anything else? That's it. So, I think this would be an appropriate time to recognize Mr. Bailey from the board.
Uh-oh.
He's going to retire. And before our last board meeting, actually. Yeah. So, we, as a board, I think that, well, I'll tell you what, I appreciate his help and what he's done. I think it's the board, I recognize. So I think that the board should, and, I'll open it up all.
Oh, well, Mr. Chairman, it's hard to put into words, all the things that Greg did has done for Colorado City. He's worn many hats. He knows this place better than anybody, alive or dead. And I hope that the management of Colorado City makes an extreme effort to keep Mr. Bailey in the loop and involved in whatever capacity he wants to be involved, for as long as he wants to be involved. And I don't care if it takes some inducements, maybe some golf memberships, or maybe some, other gratuities. But I think we should take care of Greg Bailey, and so when we ask Greg Bailey every once in a while that question that nobody else knows the answer to, we can talk. And thank you so much.
You're welcome. I've enjoyed every bit of it, actually.
Someone.
There's been times that I went and said, I'm done. And then, but no, I appreciate it. I like Colorado City.
I would, Ms. State consider taking a picture and putting an article in the paper?
Are we ready for that? Sure,
Uh,
we're going to do that. But yes, I think that.
Probably wants to cut his hair or something.
yeah, I probably should on my hair all the time.
Oh. Mr. Chairman, I was just gonna tell Greg that, short time to know you, but, you took me under your wing and educated me far greater than I could have anticipated of the water system, the sewer system, the whole history around here, and it gave me a great jump start to sit on this board. And I can't thank you enough for that. Well, we've been a community member for 5 years, but, you've made a big difference in my life and for my community, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'm at a loss of words, Greg. There is no easy way of saying how much this place will miss him. I've worked with Greg when I was in Public Works. He was one of the ones we have to almost say bump heads once in a
Yeah,
while.
I did.
But tremendous, tremendous asset that I hope, and I will echo Ray's sentiment that we don't lose. And certainly, you're going to leave when, well, I don't want to spoil the fun for the Adam on old business, but there's some news that I bring that we're going to make you happy. And I hope that you stick around to see the tree bear the fruits that you helped plant.
Yeah.
So one way or another, I've been honored and blessed to have had the chance to get to know you in this capacity, and we'll leave too far. I'm sure I'll see you around.
Well, the district manager and I, we're on the same page. And he knows that at any time, day or night, he can call me and I'm answering. I mean, that's how we work together. So, no, I'm not going anywhere. I might not be here every day, but if the district manager needs something, I'm there.
We'd have to drag him off the golf course, but.
That was like our local
We've done
job
it
here.
before.
Yeah, we've done that before too.
That'll be
But,
like our local job here. You're not always doing business, but you'll always be open.
yeah,
A great thank you. But I guess the big thing is thank you.
you're welcome.
When you take me out on a trip around the city, well, you don't have the city trucking anymore. So
No.
I'll go on mine.
Yeah, we'll have to go. Well, maybe we could get on the Harley and just cruise and I'll tap you on the shoulder where to turn.
Thank you. I just, thank you.
You bet. Thank you very much.
Okay, anything else on the study session?
Nope, that's it.
Close the study session, open the record meeting, board director, talk to you about policy, Tuesday, September 9th, 2025. And looks like it's 6:45. Join me in pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's join the moment of family north, making full choose. But the minutes show that we have a forum. We have the core board member present. And can I get approval of that?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Approval second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? How about the minutes? Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the study session regular meeting minutes from March 26, 2025, and the CA minutes March 6.
Okay.
Moving second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? How about the bill payable?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion to pay the bills.
Moving second. Discussion, questions on the bill? None? I think that, Jim, the A squared, again, if you would, update a little bit on what that's for,
What, with that, a lot of that work was with A squared on tank one, getting the data to talk to the plant, to the tank four, to the bladder, to get it all tied together. We did check it, last Tuesday.
Thursday,
Well, we started on a Tuesday and got the,
yeah,
we ran it and got it going, and then on Thursday, we kind of let it do its own thing and kept, tank one closed off. It ran great. The only bad thing is over the weekend, we had, the pump that goes to tank four started vibrating real bad and was gonna start tearing up stuff, so we shut it down, we pulled it out, we sent it back to have them look at it to rebuild it. The last time the guy rebuilt it, he says, I don't know if I'll be able to do it again. So within the last week, we've been scrambling, trying to find a new pump. We have one that is on order. It's gonna take anywhere from 10 to 15 days to get here. I have, put out to Cold looking if there's any water departments and stuff all over the state that, might have one on a shelf someplace. I did talk to a guy right before the meeting. He gave me a couple of insight leads on, some other things, and he says, I think we have a pump that we aren't using that might meet your qualifications. He's gonna check and give me a call back in the morning, and that would be
we need a big one.
in a Rapo, or I think it was a Rapo, Metro District or something like that, water district. So that would be close enough that we can send somebody if it meets our stuff. Like I said, it just went out about 3 o'clock this afternoon, and, I've already got one call on it, so I'll probably be getting more calls.
So just a ballpark, what is the list price? Ballpark.
Or it's 40, 40 horse,
40 horses.
3 phase.
40 horses is a little small. Well, it's the impeller size that matters.
The head pressure size is what matters, as long as we can get it where it pushes over 120 psi and 207 gallons per minute, then we're in the ballpark.
Well, the A squared bill, we have $20,000 with VFD cabinet for to deal with that.
Yes,
To deal with that pump.
yes.
I guess, again, refresh me on what we're doing with payments for the phone bill for, T-Mobile.
T-Mobile is all of our on-call phones, like that. Guys, operators, they have their phones are through T-Mobile because they have all of the SCADA and everything on their phones, so they don't want to use their own personal phones for that. So that's why all of our workers basically would rather have a $30 stipend for paying on their own phone and only having to carry one phone like I do. I use it for business and for everything. I don't want to carry 2 phones, where these guys actually, some of them, they're carrying 2 phones all.
So the $1,000 a month we're paying
It's not per month.
That's not.
It's not per month. It'll tell you on there, it's June through August.
So quarterly.
So I see, so.
That's how we
Just
changed
20
it.
days, once over. So
Yes,
that's 2 months.
basically almost 3, but it does also include 2 tablets.
Yeah, and it's our tablets that we use for, meeting.
Okay.
And then one of them actually goes to the campground as well.
Well, I see the
Mhm.
Parks and Recs and then both the wastewater and electric.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's go to Bill. Ray,
Yes.
Bob? Yes. Jim?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. No financial report this time. James, you kind of gave us one, so can you give us more?
Sure. As for the tank, what, Andrew, how soon do you think you're gonna be done? You know,
Hopefully by the end of the week. It took us a couple of days to get the bugs out. We're just about done pressure washing the entire shell, so we need to change the colors again, like I said it would. And we got 2 coats left on the shell, or on the roof, I'm sorry, we stripe coated the wells already on the roof. Already some of the furs and stuff that was there from when we built it. And one more coat on the shell will be done, when we clean up all the abrasive around the cage. It's getting all of the rocks and everything.
so hopefully we can get our pump back and operational until we get the other one and, move forward with that going forward. So that's kind of where we're at. And, hopefully we can start on Monday.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask a question pertaining to schedule.
Are you on operational?
Yes.
Yes, it is pertaining to things. If you'd like, I can wait till that comes. It is minute in the last meeting's minutes that I requested a count of the days that were, because were affected by weather. I requested GMS to get a hold of you and try to work out which days you were claiming we had lost to 2 weather, weather days, which days we have to have because of loss, which sounds funny, but it is an extremely valid concern. I never received them. I don't know what ended up happening.
Yeah, I have the dates on my daily reports. I called Alex the day after the meeting. I got phoned in. I couldn't do it. Heard the request. Couldn't call, but didn't get called back. We talked about it last week, and it needs to be sent.
If you could please, because I would like to update the schedule, and this would be the 3rd meeting that the board has asked me to update and present it. Which, by the way, I cannot say with authority because I've not been able to run the days, but we should still be more or less on track. Nevertheless, I cannot give my report to the board without seeing the dates.
Yeah.
So if you could please go ahead and send it to Jim and myself and Bob so that we can, I'll update it on the Excel sheet and I'll make sure that the board gets it by next week.
Yeah, what I kind of did was separate the half days where we had to stop at 2 or 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I tallied up the half days and then a couple of full days. I didn't see no difference, but it's happened. And my last count I looked at 14 days, so, but it's in the email for you.
Yeah, please, it's just so that I can update the schedule and provide the board. Those are 14 valid days according to what I've heard so far, so.
I did speak with Alex about it last week.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, you probably want to copy Alex too, of what you sent to Jim.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Probably would have anyway, but it just occurred to me when you want to say it out loud.
important to keep everybody on the same page.
The readings, with one aberration there.
Yes.
P5 is 13.7, is that real or is that?
It was I had him double check it. And I believe what happened is over that weekend that we got that nasty rainstorm and P5 kind of sits in a hole and it doesn't have a plug in it. You need to put a plug in it. I think that's what happened is from the road, water and stuff, it went into that plug. So He should have picked up a flight down here at the Ace and put one in there. And so hopefully this next reading, it's
Yeah.
gonna change.
That's kind of.
It was scary, but that's why Simmons didn't do it right away.
Okay, that one, we need to watch that one, obviously.
Yeah.
It'll go down.
So they, as you noticed, they all really didn't change except for that one, which we went back and we did it. Parks and Rec operational report, day to day, they're still mowing grass and doing all the little catch up. I know you guys, I don't remember telling you guys, you asked about the beans. The beans were for the scoreboard. And we got all of that taken care of. That's what they're doing right now, is wiring it all up and getting it ready to go. Soccer registration has started. They're looking at, they might be able to use the new football field by, middle of October for their soccer. Full, they've shut down and winterizing plumbing and building for the next month. They did have a couple of parties, different parties and stuff that they used it for, and that's why they're going to shut it down. The water, wastewater, report.
Excuse me, Chair.
Go ahead.
So, do we have a campground host down there now?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
Yes.
that's all.
Beckwith produced 17.6 million gallons of water. Cold Springs produced 2 million, total of 19.7 million gallons. Tanks are full at this point. We continue to move forward on tank painting. Greg shortened the hose, beeline to the bladder with Aiden and his crew, and now can fill and feed from the bladder. It is disinfected and ready to use. We have some fine tuning. Gap, we had a meeting today on it. The wastewater plant received 7.6 million gallons of sewage treated and returned 9 million gallons. The press is up and running and we are pressing daily. Elko has filed a remediation plan for the state, Ms. Brink, and we are waiting to hear back from her. Aiden's crew worked on the bladder, help fill and drain, test PRV stations, put them into service, worked on Beverly valve cluster, and now have correct pattern to move water from tank 4 to tank 3. Perform road maintenance due to rain and shop maintenance. Attended class with Mr. Foxworthy. Foxworthy is the guy that's training our guys for testing for their certifications
Oh, for the class A, class D?
for the class A's.
Oh,
These,
E's, I'm saying, yeah.
so,
the bottom.
Collection and distribution. Okay, Holly Dot, last year, August revenue was, 68,618. This year, August revenue was $84,074. For year to date, last year, we had $429,459. This year, we're at $549,441. We had another great month. Holly Dot is in high demand, getting play from all over the state and further. August provided us with more rain than we needed. Of course, it looks amazing. As for the maintenance side, rain August 1st through September 4th was 1.7 inches. Beans broadcast spot treatment. Of course, mowing has increased with cooler temperatures. Shorter days and much needed rainfall. Greens being sprayed with fertilizer and growth regulation. Fairways tee boxes have been fertilized with slow release, nitrogen and organic sources for uniform growth, color and feed activity in the soil, irrigation work ongoing. Shop been battling equipment issues as the season has gone on. The equipment has gotten tired and subject to more breakdowns, appropriate repairs and adjustments have been made.
Question for,
Yeah, it's nice to see that increase in the workforce.
do you have any more questions? Or the schedule and stuff like the operations issue that you guys are okay on the schedule?
Yes, once I see it, I'll be able to provide a more clear.
One of the things is we did have, a meeting with, Commissioners VFC and Marty from Riot were at the meeting last Friday. They came down to view the VFC building and see what kind of, how they can use it and put things together. Marty, I will be attending their meeting tomorrow night, to help them to help her with any explanation as to what's going on. Green did the newsletter, did a real good job on that, I believe. One of the things too is we got to say Harry Hostetler was heavily involved in this with the VFC and putting Pro County down there. Yes, and he was part of that too, getting everything together. As I did, I looked through the minutes and the motion was, and I'll show it to you, I'll play it back to you if you want, that it was that we go up to $500 and, depending on what Ride is willing to put in for it. It is divided up that way. I'm within the minutes. Other than that, that is my committees. I know Bob had some stuff to report on our website.
Yeah, I've got this. The interns from the high school, they do not have an IT kind of program there, but they have one student who was interested in trying to participate and help. So I'm going to finish up that name today. So Jim and I need to get together to get ready to talk to the student and make sure we've got the skills necessary to do the work we're looking for. To get a feel for that. And if they don't, then we don't have the time live, so we should train them to do the skills and then we can't do the work ourselves. So,
Which was streamlined too. They have a bunch of training films that go along with it and what they can do, what you can do within it. So they might be able to, get some training into it to see if you can understand what training and putting it together.
that's almost a program for the school. It is, especially when they do not have anything in the one time, but they have one student who's interested, so I'll get with him in a day or so and we'll kind of. That's your involvement. That's wonderful. It would be great to get our website tuned up. We can do that.
And then I know Green called me too today and he has an internship for water and sewer plants and stuff like that.
Yeah, actually, let me go to my notes, because we had a really good meeting today at the Public Community College, and it was Commissioner Paul McPeters who helped me get on the right track, spoke to, her name was Amanda and Jenny, who were the directors of academic programs, and I believe students, I don't want to misquote her on her title, that's them. And then last one was Brett Burkey, who's the Dean of Business and Advanced Technology, or kind of the who are the accredited programs as far as they offer. Amanda does the non-accredited ones, so certifications. Long story short, they are extremely enthusiastic. This is something that the university had looked at in the past, but for some reason, when they did a feasibility study, this was almost over 10 years ago, I should say, it didn't come back as, well, we don't know if there's the need. So I told her, I'm like, well, I don't know what your feasibility study grounds were, but I've talked to almost every utility within the confines of Pueblo County, and everybody are starved for interns. And basically, because usually when you get an intern, they stick around. And if not, they do get their certification and stuff, and they move on to another one. You have a program that can make it replaceable. So long story short, board, what I'd like to bring to you today is that the university is ready to give us one or two interns as we need, and if we are able to, we're afforded to put together the pilot program for training for utility, particularly wet utility, both water and wastewater. And they come, these are second year students, I believe, that they would provide us with. They've already taken their classes on industrial safety. It's a modification to their, and I don't want to misquote it, that's what I'm reading, ITM program, which is industrial tech maintenance. It's more geared towards heavy manufacturing industry, but I looked with them at the classes that they're taught, and right now, as it is, they have some good overlap that would be handy for our plans. And these are, and I'm proud always to say, people within Pueblo County, they are as blue collar as they come. Those kids get to college and they're not scared of a shovel and getting dirty. So, and that's basically what they'll send us. And at the beginning, when I was doing my internship in a wastewater treatment plant, you start as a gopher. You'll be playing fetch to whoever's a senior person that you're assigned to, but as you mature and you feel more comfortable in your role, they're willing to delegate further responsibilities. And that's what they're offering us. One or two as we want. And if the answer, I don't believe we have to vote on this today or we have to make anything. I'm sure that Christine and Deborah will have to talk budget first before we take it somewhere. The desire of their university is there, and we would be the first ones within, as I am aware, within Pueblo County's college circuit to have a program like this. And they would, if it does prove itself to be something that other districts, other utilities want to participate in, they're willing to basically turn it into a career path where people would take classes catered to directly working within wet utilities and even get their Class D certification or their water quality testing certification so they can do it per CDPHE standards. Right now, this is, hey, let's put it together, let's work on it. I told them I would sit down with our team and put together a little bit of a program as to what they would be doing, and they would make sure that, hey, so they're going to be in the plant. Do they have their OSHA 1000? Sure. Okay, so they can, I have no idea what our requirements within the plant are. So we would have to sit down and talk about it. But yeah, it's as soon as we make the determination and if we can afford an intern, which of course the thing about interns, they're not getting paid that much. So I'm sure that we could hopefully fit it within the budget. They're willing to provide it to us. And yeah, this would be the one that they mold into hopefully a career path.
I know I've talked to PRWA already worldwide. They do have, I think, some money for that we can maybe piggyback with them to help them for this. Yeah, for the insurance. So I'm going to get with them and go a little bit deeper now that we have something kind of set up that, hey, we're trying to develop this. I think we need your help too, and get a pilot program started and see where it goes.
So what do you need from the board?
Well, at this time, I'm just making you guys aware that it's happening. There will be, of course, the Stockton Agriculture and Rural Water, see if there's any grants and money that they can put together. Then it'd be a matter of making sure that we have room in the budget to support the stipend part. They're interns, they're not gonna be here 5 days, 7 days a week. We would pick a few days that don't conflict with their classes. But I mean, these kids are very enthusiastic of coming and making a difference in their experience and getting seasoned towards I spoke to them and they seem extremely enthusiastic about the career path as a possibility. That's so that's what that was a surprise for me.
Thank you. And I hope that for doing the report today. What else do we have left?
That's it for operational. Attorney, I can go a little bit on that. I did put out a public notice for a public hearing on the 30th. We will be updating our rules and regs on our ALS fees since there was a misunderstanding of and or on it. So we're going to fix that. Other than that, we have had conversations with, like I said, we put in a remediation plan to, the state right now for the sewer side. We are waiting for a response back from them as to, what we need to do in the direction they want us to go. We have taken, soil samples from our pond, sent them in to, see if there was any bentonite in it, to make sure that, it is lined as a, with bentonite, and because I believe there was bentonite liner plus a liner underneath it, and we're going to, make sure that we have enough bentonite. We're also going to be taking soil samples, but we do not have a lab at this time that will be able to do all the testing that the state needs, so we're in search of a lab to do that for all the minerals and stuff, magnesium, everything that goes with that. Trying to think what else, we did have a meeting with, CPH, well, water.
PAT.
Yeah. We had a meeting today with them as an update. We have a monthly ongoing meeting. We told them that we had a disfavorable, recommendation for WRS, P, which that we were looking at possibly going back in January, to reapply. And we did have a meeting with Eric, which is the head of that right now, because they've had 3 or 4 changes within the last 2 months, as what we need to do and where we need to go with it. We also had a meeting I had a meeting at 3 o'clock with USDA. USDA is they have all the information, everything ready to go up to, federal level to see whether we will get federal funding this year or will it be put into next year's budget. This year, we're not sure, but they said it will put us like number 1 for after October 1st. As to, this is a project that they need to get done and get congressional spending to go get along with it into the budget. So everything's kind of working. You know, the only bad thing is are we going to be on a filibuster and all of that stuff again this year with Congress and everybody, we're going to start layoffs and all of that again. And that's what happened last year, which they didn't have a budget until June, you know, so it's all in the workings and getting there.
All right. Board? Okay, we'll move on to agenda.
Agenda, like I said, I have the RJH, I know you guys voted on it, I just wanted to make sure that we vote on it and accept it because it was, difference of 2 days from February 1st to February 3rd.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the RJH contract.
Second. Moved and second, question, discussion.
Like I said,
I'm still troubled by not having a penalty for the fact that they don't, follow the schedule.
like you said, Mr. Perry, he has put some pressure on the other side of them, and they're saying that they should get it done by the end of October. So,
How many times have you heard that?
well, I want to see it.
At least now we have it on the addendum that there's a schedule they have to adhere to. Right? And as long as they do it by, even though they're saying October, as long as they do it by February 3rd, it should not hold us back on the actual RFP of the construction.
Agreed. Though what if they just, some of those guys who don't get through it by February 3rd? What comes down to this? Mr. Chairman, unfortunately, the original contract didn't include any, language to deal with the idea of penalties for performance of the income issues. It's a gap in the contract, so, we have nothing to fall back on contractually at this point. Other than at this point, this new kind of contract. I agree, I understand, and I think that we're stopping. I will go on record as, I don't like it. Everybody knows that. Anything else? All right, let's vote. We're voting, Jim, because of David.
That was the date being on the third instead of February 1st.
Okay, let's vote. Grim,
Yes.
Bob? Yes. Ray?
Yes.
I gotta be consistent. No.
Okay, next we have acceptance of resignation for Clint Gross.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the reluctant acceptance of resignation of Director Clint Gross.
Oh, I think they second it. Questions, comments? The only comment, I guess, is that we don't have, he's not here. We don't have the opportunity to thank him for the time he was here. How are we going to do that?
Do it over our Zoom.
Did he leave, Warren?
Huh?
Did he leave?
He's
He's in the process.
he's not attending the meeting, so,
No,
as far as being present,
I have a thank you card and stuff that maybe, we can have the president board sign it. So that route.
Any suggestions from the board?
Mr. Chairman, if he's still in the area, could we invite him to the next meeting, or is he gonna already be physically gone?
I'm not sure.
Do the proper, thank you.
The language that means, I don't know. I guess I'm looking for stuff.
I like the idea of the card and, giving his tags.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, as I recall, the, board members who left, the board during when I joined, there was something done by Metro to be them together.
Give him the jacket.
Yeah, jacket. Just consider doing something similar to that, not the same thing.
I guess I will maybe defer to Mr. Davis. He knows him probably better than anybody else. Any suggestions, Jeff? What do you think would be up to?
Well, I think, anything golf related would mean something to him. Maybe, something that, would remind him of his tenure, living on Hard Rock Golf Course, something with Hard Rock logos. Stuff like that, talk to Mike,
We can get with Mike.
wherever he's going, maybe we can buy him a golf lesson. I don't know.
And we're gonna tell him you said that.
Yeah.
I'll probably buy me one.
All right, let's vote on the second. Glenn?
Reluctantly, yes.
Okay, we left it, yes.
To the yes, please.
Yep. Not happy.
CCAAC,
No, we got old business.
do we have all business?
Well,
Go ahead, Jeff.
I know Noco just, asked me to get some information together so they can start looking at, the water sewer. We pulling a lot of information there to get that looking through for the water loss. Meter change out, the guys have been so busy, trying to make sure Dennis and everybody's on schedule. That we, in doing all the regular maintenance, that they haven't had any meter changes out this month. That goes even for the ranch, water. We're still trying to get a plan together on that. I did talk to Mr. McCormick, and his wife about a week ago, and getting with Kai went back to California, so, which he is the executor or the, power of attorney. So I need to get back with him and see where we can dig and stuff on their property, to get that going forward. Rosemont, Camelot, we haven't got there yet. Like I said, we've been trying to figure out a strategy. I think we need to sit down and figure out a total strategy for the Rosemont and how we're going to handle that. That's all I have in old business, new business, like I said, new business, I think, putting an ad out for, the position on the board. We're moving forward with that.
There's one that has new business or comment on it.
Oh, Mr. Chairman, may I, Corinne, was this with that, what we did this afternoon? We have considered new business.
That would almost be considered old business, which we have talked about it, but yes, it would be new to the board. Do you want to give it a try?
I'll let you do it.
Mr. Chairman, board, today at, what was it, 2 p.m.?
3.
3 o'clock, Bob and myself, spoke to Wally Wallace from Pueblo Means Business, division within, planning and development for Pueblo County, pertaining the merging. Is that an adequate word? Or the possibility of, bringing our, procedures of the, or the architectural committee into the Pueblo Means Business open golf plat. I believe that Ms. Howard, Director Howard, when she was here, briefly touched upon this one-stop shop for all permitting within Pueblo County. It's been a tremendous initiative, spearheaded to bring all of the permitting within Pueblo County under a single umbrella. It is, in my opinion, very intuitive and easy to use. And even for those of us that are slightly technologically impaired, there are videos that very short, very to the point, that will walk step by step anybody into how to pull a permit, how to create your account, how to pull a permit. Dare I say that the vast majority of contractors within Pueblo County are already very familiar with it. But I believe that when Mr. Bob and myself, when we went there to speak with him today, it's for the possibility of grabbing our standard application for the CCAC or C? CCAC, one of those. Apologies, it's been, what, 4 months, I'm still not completely.
We're all confused on it.
Yeah, okay, good. Anyhow, bring that and actually create the digital template so that people at the beginning, it would be hybrid, so you could choose, elect to do so on paper or do it digitally, eventually transition exclusively to the digital version. And Pueblo County would act as the receptacle of the permit. It would include it within their routing sheet so that nobody can actually try to pull a building permit. Now that, remember, January 1st, building regional goes away, and it will be county building that we have to speak to in order for to guarantee adherence to building code. And actually, it became official today. Mr. Arnold Montoya, who was the second in command of building regional, just became the head of county building department. Mr. Arnold, I worked with him tangentially. Nevertheless, reputation speaks for itself. He holds, what was it, Wally said, about 14 different certifications from the ICC, International Construction Code. And he's a fire marshal for the county. His resume is about getting big. So it will be tremendous for us to start taking these steps towards integrating with the county's process. So that way, when the procedure does start, where it's the one-stop shop for right-of-way permits, access permits, construction permits, etc. Now our board of architecture actually is within the flow, so we don't get left out and we sprout random sheds and buildings within properties. I think it was an extremely good meeting. It served us to use, and the one item that I believe that we have pending is to send them a copy of our form for them to start looking at it. There's a period of, what did he say, about 2 months until.
Right. Yeah, they're still moving that direction also.
They're moving that direction, but we're catching the wave at the perfect time. That way, when they do come online, we are first in line to also be included within the routing sheets. And the only thing that will be some stuff we would have, some things we have to work out. For instance, we would have ideally, have a computer somewhere where people that come here and they don't have a computer at all can sit down and, apply for permits here, or I see Chrissy doesn't like the idea of a computer, but, have somebody help them. I believe that it was briefly touched upon that, once we have, the county has a foothold here with the DFC, maybe one of the people, and actually Director Howard and Deputy Director Wagner mentioned that once we have that, they could once a month, twice a month, send somebody from government's business here, and should they need a permit specialist to walk them by the hand to apply for the process, they would be willing to do so.
So in that process, we said, no, we're not putting are we gonna, can we update our form? Change our form?
Mr. Smith
Yes.
brought it up.
That was the key, that he wants this form, in order to take a look at it. Now, they can do it all. We just need to provide input, with them, so they have the right information in the form, etc. And so there's gonna be a little input, but, they can do everything for us. We just have to let them know what it is.
Our form was quite big, and we messed around with it so much that we just kind of almost shut over.
We brought that up to him, and he's certainly willing to do that. And he can do it all. But we just show him what we would like, he'll do it. Process it. And as far as the money, he's already got it set up in the system, and he'll just add it to it. And it will go, as I understand, the monies from our permits, et cetera, it will come through their system. Now, every one of our back sheet there, permitting monetary charges, it'll be coded, so it comes to us, but it'll go through them. Yeah. We just need to show him what we want, and that will be reviewing this form. And so, everybody needs to.
Might, help with the covenants issue.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
do we need formal action on this?
I don't think so, do we? I think we probably need formal action once we get through the form.
Yeah.
Okay,
What I like about the whole system is anytime there's any kind of a bill, they bring it to a review committee first. And that review committee sits down with the contractor, as for, public works, roads, whatever they need. They have input into that bill and say, okay, this is your plot plan, everything's there. Your driveway needs to be moved 20 feet because you're on a corner or whatever. So it gives them, before they can even get their permit, they go through the whole realm of everybody. So that way, when it comes time to send that sheet, everybody is on board and it's straight through the shop.
Including us, which has been the issue.
So will we have a representative on that review committee?
Well, that I don't know, well, that'll be a county entity.
Right now, I'm in that review. When we walked in, that's what I was doing, was in that review to go forward with it.
That's fine, we will.
That's moving forward.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
And the possibility of, as we expand as a district, our responsibilities may be expanded by growth. For example, one of the things we discussed that time about adding our utilities standards to the routing sheet. Now, the second anybody pulls a permit, it'll trigger the, hey, this has to be inspected at this time, otherwise it will not get a CO, period. Actually, they have to issue the CO, otherwise, take off all the boxes, otherwise you will not get a CO. If you'd like to live in the house that you're building, that's very much necessary. So, yeah, no, it was, in my opinion, a tremendous meeting and a very good step in the right direction.
So the two of you, both of you are going to continue to work along yet, or what? Do we need to do anything?
No. Right now, just send, agree on a new application and send it to Lalo.
We'll do that.
Yeah, we can do it and we will present it to the board for action.
Thank you again, and Bob. Thank you, sir.
Any other new business? Yeah, that's, then we still go on to the.
CCAC. We're going to CCAC, like I said, you have two. One is the new build on 4936 Jefferson Court and 6934, Page.
Chairman, I make a motion to approve the, 4936 Jefferson Court construction and the application for 634 Saratoga Road for payment.
Second,
Moved and second, questions, discussion? We pretty much already beat this up, I think, the next week. Let's vote. Aaron,
Yes.
Bob? Yes. Ray?
yes.
Chair votes yes.
Next, you have, two notices going out, but three mailings, for the two notices. These are first letters.
We need a motion to send them.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion, Mr. Chairman, to send the two first ones.
I guess it maybe, to clarify that bit, we need a motion to start the process, basically, with sending that first letter. After that, we have the CCAAC
And,
on to send the second one, then,
okay,
so, yeah, we need a motion.
then I'd like to modify my motion, Mr. Chairman, to send the first letters and begin the process. And authorize the CCACC to begin the process.
Second,
Moved and seconded. A discussion, questions about the letters or any violations? Let's vote. Ray?
yes.
Bob? Yes. Glenn?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
Okay, next you have correspondence, from Jason and Meyer, letter to the board. Anybody have any questions about it?
Let me speak to that, Mr. Member. I'm going to, I appreciate that. I appreciate your correspondence. My consternation of the different issues in the past has been just exactly what you addressed in that correspondence. And I think with the board's approval, I am going to respond to it and thank you for sending this out. I think that we sent, I really appreciate that, but that's exactly what I was looking for.
Mr. Chairman, questions? So, in, one thing I was curious about, some of the items are obvious that when there's time involved, there would be additional costs. And a number of items here that are, going under budget. I'm curious, are they finished and there's not going to be any more charges or what savings is that? Or is there, are all the items still open and potentially could have additional charges to it?
That's your question. That's my question.
If we could ask this, it's a clarification for what.
I believe they're still open.
Yeah.
And, you know, if there is something that pops up that comes in, it's going to be additional charges, you know, that all, but most of them are within under the budget, they're gonna probably still stay under the budget.
So any of the road repair and the extension of the water line they're close.
They're all pretty much close.
And those were, some of that was,
The permitting and stuff that was already there. That was under budget. And it's gonna stay that way.
I think that, so, I think that's a good question, let me clarify that. So I am two, for example. The bigger business, 5,000, I asked, was 2024. That was the right of way and easement evaluation, and that was because of the road and the water line. So those are probably closed out.
Yeah.
But that's good, good stuff there. So you'll be okay if no board or not? If it's okay for board to send them what? You made no for that? Of course.
You can, Mr. Chairman, you can send a letter of your own volition, because you're an American. You can do that.
I like that you send it on behalf of the whole board, because we
Well,
I will sign with that.
Depending on.
If we feel it. Yeah. I guess with that caveat, then I guess I would have to see it. Who knows, and then could go rogue.
That's true too.
Number does. Okay,
Right at first and then.
anything else, Jim?
Nope, that's it.
Can we go home?
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion. To adjourn.
Move second.
Margaret,